In the cold darkness of the old quarter, the diner was where Emily quietly gave her kindness, bringing food to a homeless old man. But that night, under flickering lights, 5 menacing men stormed in, surrounding her, crude taunts, predatory eyes, and fear ready to erupt. Could her kindness save her from danger? A mysterious old man, a spark of hope in the dark. Are you ready to uncover it? Listen, this story will make your heart race. I was there, in the dim golden glow of the street corner diner. That night, the air was frigid, as if the darkness outside lurked, waiting for something. I was just a passerby, tucked in a corner, sipping cold coffee. But what happened that evening, I'll never forget. This story isn't about me. It's about Emily, a young woman with a warm heart, and what happened when her kindness was trampled. The street corner diner nestled in the heart of the old quarter, where narrow alleys twisted and neon lights flickered weakly. Emily, the 27-year-old owner, stood behind the counter. Her brown hair tied high, her bright eyes tinged with fatigue. She was beautiful, no one could deny it, but not the kind that turned heads. It was her gentleness, her patience, and something deeper. Every night, after closing, she packed leftover food for a homeless old man in a nearby alley. No one understood why. She's crazy, people whispered. Why help a filthy old man? But Emily never answered. She just smiled and carried on. That night, the cold pierced to the bone. Wind howled through the alleys, carrying the damp stench of the old streets. The diner was nearing closing time, with only a few stragglers left, including me. Emily was wiping the counter, her white cloth gliding over the polished wood. She hummed a soft tune, her voice faint as if chasing away loneliness. Then, the door swung open. A blast of icy air rushed in, along with 5 men. The stench of liquor, raucous laughter, and shifty eyes, they weren't ordinary customers. I felt it instantly. Hey, pretty lady, aren't you a sight? The leader, with bleached blonde hair, slurred, lurching toward the counter. He slammed his hand on the table, making a glass rattle. Emily flinched, but stayed calm, forcing a smile. We're closing soon. Gentlemen, please come back tomorrow. Her voice was gentle, but I heard the tremor. Closing. You kidding? The blonde laughed loudly, leaning closer. A beauty like you, alone at night. Not scared, sweetheart. His cronies roared, their laughter sharp, slicing the air. Emily stepped back, clutching the cloth, her knuckles white. Please leave. I don't want trouble. Her voice was firm, but fear flickered in her eyes. Trouble. Baby, we are the trouble. The blonde grinned, advancing, waving a beer bottle. His eyes raked her from head to toe, dripping with malice. Look this good. You gotta know your place. Don't play high and mighty. His gang closed in, blocking the door. Emily retreated to the counter's edge, her heart pounding. I saw her bite her lip, fighting tears. The other patrons looked down, silent, unwilling to invite danger. I, in my corner, felt my blood boil, but my feet were frozen. I'm just a passerby, I told myself. What could I do? The air grew heavy as if everything was about to shatter. Emily stood alone, facing 5 menacing men. Please, she whispered, her voice nearly breaking, leave me be. But the blonde only smirked, stepping closer, his large hand reaching for her. Inside the diner, the air was suffocating, like a noose tightening. The blonde thug loomed over the counter, his large hand reaching for Emily, his eyes dripping with malice. The gang's laughter echoed, sharp as a blade tearing through the silence. Emily pressed against the wall, her eyes glistening with tears, yet her voice held firm. Stay back, she shouted, her words cracking with fear. I tucked in the corner and felt my heart pounding. I wanted to do something. Anything, but my body was paralyzed. The other patrons kept their heads down, none daring to look up. No one dared help her. But outside the glass door, in the cold darkness of the alley, a figure emerged. The homeless old man, the one Emily had quietly helped for 3 years. His tattered coat flapped in the wind, his silver hair a tangled veil over his face. He stood there, silent, like a specter in the night. No one in the diner noticed him. Nobody but me. I saw him, and I saw his eyes. They weren't the eyes of a frail, forgotten soul. They were the eyes of someone who'd faced death, who'd once held the fate of an army in his hands. The old man didn't step inside, didn't shout, didn't draw attention, but I saw his hand, trembling, pull a cracked, ancient phone from his coat. His gaunt fingers dialed a number, the only one he still knew. He raised the phone to his ear, his voice low but clear, like a command from the past. "Daniels," he said, each word carved into the air. "Get here now. Street corner. The girl's in danger." I couldn't hear the other end, but I saw the old man's face hardened, etched with deep wrinkles, and eyes blazing with a fire I couldn't fathom. He hung up, turned, and shuffled back into the darkness. No words, no glance. He vanished as if he'd never been there. But I knew. I felt it. Something was coming. A storm, silent but unstoppable. Inside. The blonde thug kept jeering, oblivious. What's with the silence? Sweetheart scared now. He leaned closer, reaching for Emily's arm. She jerked back, her heart racing, her eyes darting, searching for help. But there was no one, or so she thought. I wanted to scream, to tell her the old man had done something, that hope was on its way. But I was just a passerby, a helpless witness. All I could do was wait and pray the old man's act would change everything. The diner felt like an iron cage, trapping every sound, every glance in a suffocating tension. The blonde thug loomed at the counter, his rough hand grazing the edge, inches from Emily. His breath reeked of liquor, his eyes glinting with malice. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Nothing to say. He laughed loudly, the sound sharp, tearing through the silence. Emily pressed into the corner, her back against the icy wall. Her eyes brimmed with tears, yet she clung to defiance. "Stay away," she cried, her voice trembling, nearly breaking. "I'm begging you, leave." I sat in the corner, my cold coffee untouched, my heart pounding like it would burst. I'd seen the homeless old man, the mysterious figure Emily helped, make a call before vanishing into the dark. But now, there was no sign of help, just Emily. Alone, facing 5 menacing men. I wanted to stand, to scream, to do anything to end this nightmare. But my legs were frozen. I was just a passerby, a helpless witness. I told myself to wait just a little longer, but time crawled like a blade. The thugs circled the counter, blocking every escape. One. His face scarred, snatched Emily's phone, smashing it on the floor. The crack echoed a jagged warning of worse to come, calling someone the cops. He sneered, stepping closer. "Sweetheart, we ain't scared." The blonde swung his arm, knocking a stack of glasses off the counter. Glass shattered, shards scattering across the floor. Emily screamed, retreating deeper into the corner, clutching her shoulders as if to shield herself. "Please," she whispered, her voice frail, near despair. "Leave me alone." But they didn't stop. The blonde leaned in, his large hand reaching for her. "Alone. Not that easy, darling." His laugh cut like a knife. The others joined, closing the circle, their eyes brimming with intent. Looking this good and acting all high and mighty. Know your place. Another shouted, slamming the counter and haking the diner. The air grew heavy as if all hope had been sucked dry. The remaining patrons kept their heads down, avoiding eye contact. A couple hurried out, their gazes dodging Emily. A middle-aged man near the door gripped his wife's hand, whispering, "Don't get involved, it's too dangerous." No one spoke, no one dared help. My face burned, and my chest ached with guilt. I wanted to act, to do something, anything, but fear held me fast. I was just a passer-by, I repeated, but the words felt cowardly now. Emily stood alone, encircled, her lips pressed tight, tears streaming down her cheeks, but she stopped pleading. She stared at the blonde, her eyes a mix of fear and defiance. "You'll regret this," she said, her voice soft but icy. The blonde froze for a second, then burst out laughing. "Regret? Let's see who regrets first, sweetheart." He stepped forward, his hand raised, poised to strike. The other thugs closed in, their eyes glinting with malice, their laughter like knives slicing the air. No one in the diner dared speak. No one dared help her. I sat in the corner, my heart frozen, barely beating. I'd seen the old man make his call, but now hope seemed snuffed out. Time dragged, a nightmare with no escape. Then, from the distance, a sound roared to life. The growl of engines was powerful like thunder tearing the night. Blinding headlights pierced the glass door, flooding the diner with light. 3 vehicles screeched to a halt outside a military SUV and 2 jeeps. Red lights flashing, doors flew open, and 12 soldiers stepped out, dressed in ceremonial uniforms, synchronized, cold, their every step deliberate, a wordless declaration of war. The diner fell silent as if the world held its breath. I watched them, and I knew everything was about to change. The blonde thug froze, his raised hand slowly dropping. His gang turned, jaws slack, eyes wide with panic. Emily looked up, her tear-streaked face confused, not grasping what was happening. The leader, a tall officer with a lieutenant colonel's insignia, strode in. His name was stitched on his chest. Daniels. He paused in the center, his icy gaze sweeping over the thugs. "You," he said, his voice low but resonant, echoing from some distant battlefield, "picked the wrong person to bully." The blonde tried to regain his composure, forcing a laugh, but his voice quavered. Who are you?" "We were just messing around." He stepped back, bumping into another thug, the group stumbling. Lieutenant Colonel Daniels advanced, stopping mere feet away, his eyes unyielding. "Messing around." He paused, letting the silence crush them. "Let me tell you a story." His voice was slow, each word a hammer's strike. "This girl, Emily, fed a brother of mine for 3 years. No judgment, no demands. Just kindness. And that brother, he was once my commander." The 11 soldiers behind him formed a line, their gazes locked on the thugs, not a sound, not a wasted motion. Their presence was a steel wall, impenetrable. Daniels turned to Emily, his voice softening yet still commanding. "You all right?" Miss Emily nodded, tears spilling again, but not from fear this time. She looked at the soldiers as if they were angels stepping from a dream. I'm okay," she whispered. Her voice choked. The blonde tried to speak, but a single glance from Daniel silenced him. "Today," he continued, his tone cold as ice, "it's our turn to protect her." He signaled, and 2 soldiers stepped forward, seizing the blonde and another thug by the shoulders. The rest panicked, backing toward the door, but the Marines had already blocked it. No extra words, no wasted moves. It unfolded swiftly, cleanly, like a calculated operation. The quiet honor diner now carried a new breath. Soft golden light bathed the wooden walls, adorned with faded photos of veterans who visited every Saturday afternoon. Emily, the owner, stood behind the counter, her smile brighter, as if the kindness she'd given had become a flame warming her soul. I, the teller of this story, often returned, sitting in my old corner, sipping coffee, reflecting. That night, when 12 Marines stormed in, changed everything. But the story didn't end there. It ended with the old man, with Colonel James Harper, and with a silent promise. After that fateful night, the old man vanished. No one saw him in the familiar alley where he'd sat clutching his worn canvas bag. No one saw him wandering under streetlights or standing quietly outside the diner. He left like a breeze, leaving no trace. Emily searched for him, asking around the neighborhood, but no one knew anything. "It's like he never existed," a neighbor said, voice tinged with regret. But I felt it, he was still out there, watching, in his own way. Then, one morning, Emily found something strange. On the small table in the corner, where she'd left meals for the old man, lay a single white flower, a daisy, pristine, beside a small note. The handwriting was shaky but clear as if carved into time. "You gave me breakfast. I'll protect you for life." Emily stood frozen, clutching the paper, tears streaming down her face. She didn't know how or why, but she felt a promise, a bond beyond space and time. The next week, another white flower appeared with the same words. Then, the week after, and the one after that. No one saw who left them, no one knew where they came from. But each time, Emily smiled, gently pressing them into a notebook as if preserving a piece of the old man. The quiet honor diner became a symbol, not just of kindness, but of silent promises, of people who live for others, even when the world forgets them. I sit here, writing this story, and I've realized something. Kindness, however small, however unseen, never fades. It's like those white flowers appearing unexpectedly, reminding us every act of compassion matters. Emily never saw the old man again, but she didn't need to. He left her a gift greater than thanks, the belief that kindness always finds a way back. This story isn't just about Emily's or Colonel James Harper's, it's ours. I learned that in life's darkness, a single act of kindness can be the only light. So, live kindly, my friend, give, even if it's just a meal, a smile, or a warm word, because one day that kindness will become a flame, warming the world. Kindness given always returns somehow. So, choose to live kindly. Emily and James Harper's story has closed, but the light of kindness shines on. A meal, a smile, can change a life. You felt it, didn't you? Share this story to spread the message live kindly, and kindness will return. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch more meaningful stories. Together, let's light small flames in life's darkness.